Welcome to Meet B.LEAGUE. It's our 13th show of the season. Hey, what's up everyone? What's happening? This is Keita, your host for Meet B.LEAGUE. As we approach the end of 5-on-5 season, the 3x3 season has just begun. It should be very exciting time for basketball fans now. Okay, we're going to have plenty of topics to talk about, so don't miss it. Let's start off from looking at the championship participating teams that survived the tough battles. The tournament bracket is here. This time, player who is participating from our Asian quota is Wang of Akita Northern Happiness. They have won the very last spot to make their first appearance. Congratulations! And the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, where Ray Parks Jr. plays. It will be interesting to see how far they can go with one of the league's best offense. All championship games will be streamed live on B-League official YouTube. Make sure you check it out. Alright, our next topic is Meet B-League Survey Volume 3. Just like we did before on our previous shows, we took a very original survey with our Asian quota players. We asked about their favorite food, about their fashion, and about their most impressive game so far in the B-League. First off, player who continues to contribute to the team constantly, Kobe Pradas from Niigata RBX BB. He had many double-digit scoring games this season, and it looks like he's getting used to the B-League. Let's look at what Kobe answered. From his favorite food edition, his favorite home food is chicken adobo and sinigang. Chicken adobo is the taste of mother home cooking. Also mentioned by Ray Parks Jr. that he likes it. And other one, sinigang, is a typical soup of Filipino food. It seems to be characterized by a fairly sour seasoning. About why Kobe likes these, he said, "My grandma used to cook it for the family." Maybe those recipes are passed down to generation. I'm interested what kind of seasoning it is. Next, his favorite Japanese food. It's everybody's favorite, sushi and ramen. The reason why he likes ramen? He said, it's very good for a cold day, especially here in Niigata. Niigata is a region with high level of ramen, often referred to as 5-measure ramen city. I wonder if Kobe also went to try various ramen shops around the city. Next, the game that left big impression on him. Kobe mentioned his B-League debut in October. 25 points in his debut game. That made a huge impact. The reason why this game left an impression on him, he said, "My first bucket as a professional." You can never forget your first professional bucket. Next up is Javier Gomez de Liano from the Ibaraki Robots. A swingman with a long-range shots, standing 195 cm tall and weighs 89 kg. Recently, even though the team faced tough situations with injuries, he lifted his team up with scoring double digits. April was a big month for him personally. First one, favorite home food is chicken skewer called Inihao na Manak because it is healthy, and the second one is kare kare. Kare kare seems to be a dish like a classic Filipino stew. But the reason Javier likes this is unique flavor and with peanut butter. Hey, that's some surprise. There's a peanut butter in it. I'd love to eat it in the off season. His favorite Japanese food is beef ball and sushi. I often hear a lot of foreign players likes to eat beef ball, and it's the first appearance in this survey. The reason Javier likes beef ball is, he said, "My mom loves cooking beef ball growing up, and I love the taste." I see this Japanese food is quite popular in the Philippines, maybe? Next, last question. The game that left big impression on him. Javier mentioned the game against the Kawasaki Brave Thunders on November 13th last year. The reason for choosing this game, he said, only game I played 20 plus minutes and scored double digits. By the time he answered the question, it was certainly the only one. But in the month of April, he lived up to the expectations and finished the season very strong. We are looking forward to his further progress. Thank you very much for answering the survey, Kobe and Javier. Alright, our next topic. I would like to present a special interview with Shiga Lake Stars star, Kiefer Ravenna. It is not exaggeration to say that he was the best player from Asia Quata this season. Played as an absolute floor general for the team. He averaged 13.2 points per game and shot over 80% from the free throw line. He also ranked third in the league with an average of 5.9 assists per game, recording double-double 5 times. It was my pleasure talking with him, and he has some wonderful stories. Please check out this interview.
Let's start off with, can you describe in one word your very first season here in B-League?
It's been an adventure.
Sure.
Yeah. Just because, in an adventure, there are a lot of highs and lows, ups and downs. And I feel like that's one way of describing our season. An adventure of finding our identity as the Shiga Lake Stars. So yeah, that's how my rookie season in the B-League went.
Mm-hmm. Right. And next one, we interviewed the head coach Luis Gill.
Leader, high IQ, and very high level skills.
And as the head coach Gill mentioned leadership as one of his key words, your teammates also said that you're an ideal leader. And is there an ideal leader or player that you kind of look up to?
Yeah, definitely. Growing up, I was very fortunate to be in the national team at a very young age. I was able to be under one of the greatest point guards to play in Philippine basketball history. 3 of them, to be honest. It was Jimmy Alapag, who now coaches in the NBA G League for Sacramento Kings affiliate. Jason Castro, multiple time best guard in Asia, and L.A. Tenorio comes from the same university and was a mainstay for the national team. Those 3 guys are the guys that I try to emulate in terms of my game and leadership style. I try to mix and match everything with Coach Jimmy. He's more of a real vocal leader. Jason, he's more of the example leader. He won't say a lot, but he will just show it in the game, show it in practice. And also with LA, true definition of a professional. Right now he holds the record for playing the most consecutive games in the PBA. Almost 700 games without missing one game. So those are the 3 guys that I try to look up to. All are good friends of mine. And I guess all my experiences from their style of leaderships is what I try to embody for my teammates here in the Shiga Lake Stars.
Is there something that you kind of keep in mind right now to be a good leader here in the B League or your team?
Definitely. Just leading by example first and foremost. Being one of the guys that Coach Luis expects a lot from, and I gotta share that experience that I've learned all throughout my career and show it to the younger guys. And I think that's one great way of showing leadership is you have you're proactive. You don't have to have anybody to tell you what to do. You initiate, the rest will follow. Leading by example, as they always say, is one good example of showing good leadership.
Right. And head coach Gil also mentioned that he was impressed on how you were fast at kind of like like switching mind, changing mind after like a tough loss or kind of like tough situation? Is that very important?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's also important, especially in a league that plays so many games. It's very important to learn the ability of having short-term memory because you have a lot of games to play and you can't dwell on a tough loss or a bad game too much or too long because you have another opportunity to play the following day, or at least you have a day rest in between and play on a Wednesday. So also in sports, also in sports in general, that it's one of the few aspects in life where you're always given a chance to bounce back or the ability to redeem yourself. It's not very often that in life, once you get fired, you're not assured of a job right away the following day, right? So in basketball, you play Saturday, you play bad, you have a chance to play good on a Sunday. So that's this is an aspect of life that we have to be appreciative of by taking it a day at a time, because it's not for everybody, and at the same time this opportunity is not given to anybody as well.
Let's go to the second keyword that he mentioned, high basketball IQ. And the head coach Gil mentioned that you're similar to Sergio Llull from Spain. You know that player?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think he plays for the national team. You were similar to him with a high basketball IQ. And he especially praised about how you make judgments or decisions on different situations. How do you feel about that?
I mean, coming from a coach who's been it all, like who's done it all, played in the Olympics, played in the World Cup, won the World Cup, playing different leagues in Europe and here in Japan. That's very big for a player like me, and I think having that high basketball IQ is one of my assets because I had to make it up for my physical disabilities, my height, my speed, and if I had a so-so basketball IQ, I wouldn't be here right now. So I had to excel somewhere, and being a student to the game is something that I really took serious attention to. Every game I would watch it, even just like one half, just to make sure I get to correct everything that I need to correct for the following game. And I guess that's also one thing that the younger generation of basketball players don't really give importance to, is studying the game and really understanding the deeper meaning of basketball and how to play the sport. Sometimes players just come in, lace their shoes up and play, offense, defense. But especially with players getting better, now you have to find different ways on how to beat your opponent. Now the tactical scouting comes into play. Somebody's bigger, stronger, faster, and better than you. So you can't just stop from there and rely on your talent so much. And plus, if you study the game, it will make you play the game easier, especially if you already have the physical abilities and you back it up with the hard work that you put in onto studying your film. So that's one thing I also want to share for my teammates and also for the future basketball players.
We asked head coach Gil, what was the memorable about you, and he mentioned that you gave shoes to all the team staff as a Christmas present.
Bueno, tengo un recuerdo personal increíble, que es, por ejemplo, que él el día de Navidad regalara a todos los jugadores unas zapatillas.
Can we hear about that episode?
Oh, yeah. I gave our coaching staff the same shoes. Not only the coaching staff, but all our trainers and our staff members as well. So I talked to some people back home in the Philippines, and they shipped it over to me over here in Japan. And I guess that's also one way of showing that we're a team. It might be a small way, but if everybody gets a piece of the pie, it makes the team chemistry better. Makes us understand that this is just this is bigger than basketball. I also wanted to share them my brand with Jordan and I gave them the shoes. The style was was named Dear Coach. That was the name of the shoe. So it had a personal touch also, sending my thanks, and of course, being Filipino and celebrating Christmas is also one way of me making them part of the family. I have no family here except for 30. We weren't able to celebrate Christmas, and being able to give him those gifts was really also big for me, knowing that I have my Shiga family out here to celebrate that event with me.
Let's go to the next one. Head coach Gail mentioned that he wants to make Q the #1 point guard in Asia.
Quiero convertirle en el mejor base que haya en Asia. Yo creo que él tiene algo muy bueno, que tiene un altísimo IQ, conocimiento del juego, tiene muchas habilidades, un gran nivel de skills, y es muy competitivo y con un carácter de liderazgo muy alto.
You kind of have that in your mind, or can you share with us your goal as a basketball player?
To be honest, my end goal is just to be the best basketball player I can be. And with Coach Gil, Coach Luis saying that he wants me to be the best guard in Asia, it never really entered my head until he said that to me personally as well. There's a lot of things to be worked on, a lot of improvement, but definitely that's another motivation for me to move forward in my career and try to improve every step of the way, knowing that I have people that will believe in me, believe in my skill, believe in my talent. And for as long as I work hard, I feel like I can give myself a chance of being the best point guard in Asia. It comes with a lot of responsibilities, taking care of my body, being able to be smart, and again, just never shying away from the grind and working day in and day out. I guess that's the most important thing.
Talking about head coach Gil, he's known to have many experiences and also known to be a very passionate and energetic, right?
Mm.
I assume you have learned a lot from him. And what is one thing that best impressions that you can get from what you learned from him?
Probably for the past 54 games, even with the practices, just past year in general, what I've learned from Coach Luis is just giving your 100% in everything that you do. That's always been his philosophy. Every time you step on the court, whether you're lifting weights, you're doing individual work, you give it your 100%. When you step on the floor, when it's game time, you give it your 100%. Every play, every action that's needed, and that also comes with life. That's why I was able to also carry it off the court. When it's family time, you give 100% to family time. When it's time to relax, unwind, stay on a vacation, you give 100% on your vacation, because it also relaxes your mind from overthinking with basketball as well. So I guess that's the impression that Coach Luis has really left with me, or had the most impact with me.
Thank you, Kiefer, for your time. We are going to have a second half part of the interview next time. Alright, that's it for today's Meet B.LEAGUE. The regular season is over, and the 2021-2022 season is getting close to the climax. A tense atmosphere of the championship is just so special, and you should not miss it. There's nothing like a postseason games. Till next time, お楽しみに!